Namaste, I am Dr. Mithila, Associate Professor, SVyasa University. Today we are going to talk about stress, appetite and dietary management, modern and yogic perspective. Coming to the introduction, previously in the module that talked about physiology of stress, we have understood the stress response pathways and their mechanism. Coming to the aspect of stress management, we need to understand that there is no one problem, one solution approach. Stress management requires a realistic understanding of our health and lifestyle, based on which a comprehensive management method can be developed and implemented in our daily lives. One such way to promote health and reduce stress is via monitoring your diet and appetite. "You are what you eat" is a popular quote that we come across while listening to dietitians, lifestyle coaches, in books and in social media in general. This simple phrase summarizes and amalgamates the knowledge base of yoga with the modern scientific understanding of the connection between food and human behavior. Food is a basic requirement for sustenance of living beings, but there are different factors and mechanisms that influence the choices we make in terms of quality and quantity of food. As a consequence of this choice, we may either aggravate stress or eliminate stress. The choice is ours. In this module, we will be discussing the regulation of appetite, the ill effects of stress on appetite and digestion, and also the dietary management of stress. Coming to understanding stress and appetite. On many occasions, we might have heard your family members or friends say, "I don't feel like eating anything." On the contrary, there might also be circumstances when a person seems to eat unusually more. This sudden change in eating behavior may be attributed to the psychological stress a person is undergoing. Psychological stress can have a significant impact on appetite by affecting the hormonal levels and the brain signals involved in hunger and satiety. Appetite refers to the desire or drive to eat food. It is a complex phenomenon that is regulated by various physical, psychological and environmental factors. Appetite regulation is a complex process that involves multiple hormones and brain signaling pathways. The mechanism of appetite regulation can be broadly divided in the following categories. Hormonal regulation. So hormones such as leptin and ghrelin play a key role in regulating appetite. Leptin is produced by fat cells and it signals to the brain that the body has enough energy stored, and it suppresses the appetite. Whereas ghrelin, which is produced by the stomach, signals hunger and increases your appetite. The balance between these hormones, along with other hormones such as insulin and cortisol, influences hunger and satiety levels. Coming to the neural regulation, the brain's hypothalamus plays a crucial role in appetite regulation, receiving signals from hormones and sensory inputs such as taste, smell, and digestive state to coordinate hunger and satiety. The hypothalamus also sends to the brainstem and digestive system to control food intake and also digestion. And the important aspect is the gut-brain connection. The gut-brain connection refers to the communication network between the gut and the brain, which allows the two organs to work together to regulate various bodily functions. The gut contains its own nervous system called the enteric nervous system, which is sometimes referred to as the second brain. The enteric nervous system can function independently of the brain and the spinal cord, but it also communicates with the central nervous system via the vagus nerve. The gut and the brain are also connected through the endocrine system, like we just talked about, which releases hormones that can influence digestion, metabolism and also mood. Overall, appetite regulation is a complex interplay between hormones, neural signaling and environmental and emotional factors. Any imbalances in these factors can lead to changes in appetite and potentially contribute to weight gain or other health issues. Now, how does actually stress affect your appetite and digestion? Stress can lead to a decrease in gastric motility and digestive secretions, which can also slow down the digestive process and lead to symptoms like bloating, constipation, or indigestion. In contrary, stress can also increase the production of stomach acid, which can irritate the stomach lining and exacerbate digestive issues. Chronic stress can have a cumulative effect on the digestive system, leading to more serious conditions like peptic ulcers, acid reflux, or inflammatory bowel disease. It is important to develop healthy coping mechanisms to manage stress. One crucial factor that can affect your mental health is the quality of the diet that you consume. Thus, making changes in your dietary habits and maintaining a balanced diet can support overall health and well-being. This concept of balanced diet can be understood from both modern, scientific and yogic perspectives. What you will see is that there is a meeting point for both, a point that guides us towards a healthy eating behavior. Let us further understand what it means. Coming to the dietary management of stress via a modern perspective. What is commonly known is that diet provides the necessary nutrients to meet the body's energy demands. However, its role in supporting the body's response to stress and promoting mental health is not often deliberated. In fact, different nutrients can have different effects on mental health. Let's look into some of the category of nutrients and their effects on appetite and stress. Protein. High protein foods can help reduce the feeling of hunger and increase feeling of satiety or fullness, potentially leading to a decreased food intake. Coming to the fiber. Foods high in fiber such as fruits, vegetables and whole grains can help regulate appetite by slowing digestion and increasing feeling of fullness. Fat. Fats can increase feeling of fullness and also slow down the digestion, but it can also stimulate appetite if it is highly palatable. There are also certain fats which can improve the structure and function of the brain cells that can help regulate mood and emotions. For example, omega-3 fatty acids. It can also reduce the production of pro-inflammatory molecules which can contribute to stress and anxiety. Coming to vitamins, vitamins such as folate and vitamin B12 are involved in the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine or norepinephrine, which are important for mood regulation and stress management. Minerals like magnesium play a role in the production and release of neurotransmitters and also help to regulate the HPA axis, which is the body's central stress response system. Probiotics. So probiotics are found in fermented foods such as yogurt, and they can support gut health and improve mood, potentially reducing stress levels. Hydration. Water, although cannot provide calories, it is very vital for sustenance of homeostasis. Staying hydrated is important for overall health, including mental well-being. So dehydration can increase the feelings of fatigue and stress. These were the beneficial nutrients. There are also certain nutrient categories that we need to avoid or at least reduce the consumption. For example, sugar or carbohydrate. High sugar foods can quickly release blood sugar and stimulate the release of insulin, which can lead to feelings of hunger. Consuming too much sugar can also lead to sugar crashes, which can trigger cravings and overeating. And fried and processed foods, they contain fats called as trans fats that are causally linked to the increased depression and anxiety. They cause inflammation in the body, which may interfere with the neurotransmitters such as serotonin. Next important category is the meat and the animal products. Since prehistoric times, humans have based their diet on the meat of animals that inhabited their environment. A meat-based diet became the symbol of wealth, and meat consumption was regarded as the best way to satisfy one's nutritional needs. However, in the modern era, the intensive mass-scale meat production is linked to numerous strains on the environment and altering the quality of nutrition. For example, the most recent study shows that consumption of nitrated dry cured meat was associated with mood disorders. And the next important category is the alcohol and caffeine. Alcohol and caffeine are often consumed as means of coping with stress, but their effects on the stress levels can be complex and dependent on individual factors. Excessive alcohol consumption can lead to increased anxiety, irritability, disrupted sleep, which can exacerbate the stress and lead to long-term health problems. Caffeine is a stimulant that can increase alertness and reduce feelings of fatigue. However, caffeine can also increase anxiety and lead to increased heart rate, jitters, which can further contribute to feelings of stress and discomfort. Additionally, caffeine can interfere with sleep, leading to fatigue and stress. Coming to refined sugars and artificial sweeteners, aspartame and saccharin can affect neurotransmitters in the brain and also disrupt the gut microbiome, leading to imbalances that can impact mental health, leading to changes in mood and potentially increase feelings of stress and anxiety. Apart from the above, there is one important aspect that is known to have a direct impact on the central nervous system that I just spoke about, is the gut microbiome. In an expanding field of research, gut microbiome has shown that it is the community of microorganisms that live in the gut, especially in the small intestine. It can influence the brain function, behavior and mental health. Gut microbiome can affect psychological health by producing neurotransmitters and other signaling molecules. For example, the gut produces serotonin. On the other hand, psychological factors such as stress, anxiety and depression can also alter the composition and function of the gut microbiome. This bidirectional communication between the gut and the brain highlights the importance of maintaining good gut health. These are some of the examples of how different nutrients can impact appetite regulation. A balanced diet that includes a variety of nutrient-dense foods can help support healthy appetite regulation and overall health and well-being. Now, this was the modern perspective. Let us now understand the yogic perspective of diet for stress management. According to Yoga and Sankhya philosophy, this material world is a combination of three basic constituents named as Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, which are combinedly called as Trigunas. The property, characteristics and even quality of any material depends on the proportion of its mixture. Our body and mind too are combination of Trigunas. Rajas is characterized by feelings of passion, pain, excitement, being energized and full of activity. There is also often a certain degree of restlessness and mental agitation, whereas Tamas is associated with feelings of lethargy, heaviness and inertia. Tamas produces ambiguity, dilemma, idleness, fantasy and relentlessness. Coming to Sattva, Sattva is characterized by feelings of expansiveness, joyfulness, lightness and being the witness to one's life. Sattva Guna comprises the spiritual quality. It is the Guna of purity and wisdom. When carefully observed, you can see that no two individuals respond similarly to a stressful situation. The behavioral responses and adaptations in an encounter with stress may be attributed to the dominant guna of each individual that defines their personality. In general, people with Sattva Guna remain calm and composed. People with Rajo Guna tend to get angry and agitated, whereas people with Tamo Guna may get anxious and restless in response to stress. The same is applicable to the property, characteristics and quality of food that we consume. When Sattva constituent is more in proportion, we term that as Sattvic food. Similarly, depending upon the major constituent, foods can be classified as Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. Hence, from yoga's point of view, food gains importance not only from the physical perspective but also from the state of mind that it promotes. Thus, the gunas have implications in both physical and mental health. The type of food that we eat has an enormous influence on the trigunas and it nourishes the people consuming it according to its own quality. Mind is formed out of the refined portion of food. The way a food is prepared also influences the guna it promotes. Let us look into the details of the Rajasic, Tamasic and Sattvic food. Coming to the Rajasic food, these are also called as stimulant foods, hot, bitter, acidic, dry or salty foods are included in the category of Rajasic diet. They disturb the mind-body balance. By feeding the body with Rajasic food, it will overstimulate the body, stimulate passion, leaving the mind restless and uncontainable. Although this food is not completely beneficial, they are not harmful when consumed in moderation. For example, spices or strong herbs and stimulants such as coffee and tea, fish, spicy foods, onions, garlic, eggs, salt and chocolates are also included in Rajasic food. Coming to Tamasic food, otherwise called as the sedative or static food. A Tamasic diet is neither beneficial to the mind nor the body. This kind of diet depletes the body of prana or the energy, and it lessens the power of reasoning and induces inertia. Tamasic food reduces the body's resistance to diseases. It makes one lethargic or inactive. Overeating is also considered to be a tamasic character. Example, meat, alcohol, tobacco, fermented foods such as vinegar, stale and overripe substances and the like are included in the tamasic food. Coming to the last category, that is the sattvic food. The word sattvic comes from the Sanskrit word sattva, which means purity, goodness and harmony. Sattvic food enhances our awareness, inspires us to take up positive actions, meditate more deeply and realize our innate potential and creativity. Sattvic foods are often seen as being easily digestible and nutritious and are believed to have positive, uplifting energy and promote clarity of mind and calmness and inner peace. While the concept of sattvic food is specific to yoga philosophy, it aligns with many modern ideas about healthy eating and emphasizes the importance of a balanced and nutritious diet for overall well-being. The sattvic diet is centered around whole, natural and minimally processed foods, including fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains such as brown rice, quinoa and barley, legumes such as lentils and chickpeas, nuts, seeds and dairy products, calming spices such as cumin and fennel are some of the categories that come under sattvic food. So, all in all, by making the right dietary choices such as moderate consumption or elimination of foods that is known to cause ill effects and incorporation of those that impart psychosomatic benefits, one can expect to live a better quality of life. However, it is important to remember that diet and nutrition are just one part of a comprehensive stress management plan, and you may also need to incorporate other strategies such as physical activity, yoga and meditation. Nevertheless, you should always be mindful and remind yourself you are what you eat. Thank you.